Okay, today is Saturday, December 29. It's at 1:55 in the morning, and on I was heard on 3/21/2009. I was sent home because I received a notice of offer of work on December 1st, 2010. They held it up for 2 months. On the fifth day, they just flat out sent me home. Um, I'm going to say the word entrapment, and I'll explain myself what I mean by entrapment. It's under law, criminal law. What they did is they used a second time clock to work the drivers longer, if need be. Okay, you log out on the freeway wherever you are, and it's at 14 hours. That's why you have to log out, because the computer says the driver pull over, okay, or it says you're at your 14 hours. Now you pull over on the freeway and you log out of your truck and you take your stuff on, you wait in the middle of the freeway for at least an hour or more, sometimes less. Okay, you take the pickup truck and you drive it back to Tracy, California. Now you're in violation. You're in violation. When the 14 hours are up, you're supposed to go directly home. You're supposed to be leaving Tracy. And that's not your starting point. Your starting point is not Tracy. Okay? Now, you get back to Tracy, you log out on the data machine in the driver's room. On the data machine in the driver's room, you log out. Okay, let's say your 14 hours is up at 12:30, like mine would be at 10:30 to 12:30, 14 hours. I would log out maybe 2:30, at least more than an hour anyway. So my starting time changes because they want you to take 10 hours from the company time clock. You're instructed to do that, okay, but it's not in the company policy. Okay, I never saw it in company policy where it says 2 time clocks. That you're required to log out on 2 time clocks, okay? So, in long story short, at that point, the company can fire you anytime they want. But I don't think they realize the fact that you're ordered to do that. You're ordered to falsify logs. You're ordered to lie, because of the fact it doesn't record the difference in miles, because you've already logged out. You're getting paid by that trip sheet, and it doesn't record the miles on the logs because somebody else logged into your tractor and drove the tractor in. So the miles aren't being recorded, okay? And the way to establish that fact is you look up the number of the tractor that you were driving, and then you look up the tractor and who replaced you and at what time. And you look at that time and you'll get your difference in miles. And then, like I said, sometimes they pay the delay, sometimes they don't. Okay, now, that's the way you can prove that. That's what they're doing. And plus that, there's 400 truck drivers there, and they'll be glad to testify to that fact. Because I haven't been paid the difference in miles going on 10 years. And I've been violating DOT regulation, at least must be going on 10 years. And some of them drivers been there 20, 25 years. They've been violating DOT regulation. And your life is at risk because your driver's license is on the line. Okay, so your livelihood is at risk. But yet to say that they can fire you anytime they want because you're falsifying logs at the company's instruction. You got to follow what the supervisor tells you to do. When you run out of hours, the dispatcher will tell you one or two things. He'll say, log out of the truck, we'll pick you up. Or if you're coming in from Vallejo or someplace, they'll say, drive as far as you can, we'll pick you up. As soon as they say that, you know you're in violation of the Department of Transportation regulation and that your livelihood is on the line. And also, if for some reason, if Mike Sadler feels like chewing your butt out or making a law correction or not, he can do that. He can do whatever he wants to because you're not going to say anything. Because if you do, he could fire you for falsification of documents, as he did me. Okay? The dispatcher falsified my logs. That's correct and true. He violated DOT regulation. And he's the only one with the key that can do that. There's nobody, no truck driver in the United States of America can falsify anything. The federal government put those machines in there. So their intent was that no truck driver in the United States and all trucking companies must have an onboard automatic recording device. So that's the regulation, and that's the rule, and that's company policy and union contract. So, and I'm using the word entrapment because that's exactly what it is. Okay? When you log on that truck at 14 hours and you're in Dublin or Livermore and you're at your 14 hours and you're ordered to log out, okay, and wait for somebody to pick you up. I've waited almost an hour and a half, 2 hours sometimes in the middle of the freeway. You know, and it's crazy, you know, and you know that you're in violation, but you can't do nothing about it if you want to keep working. So anyway, I'm blowing the whistle on them. I'm saying it's entrapment, okay? I'm saying that the dispatcher falsified my logs. There's no doubt about it, and I can prove it. I got a copy of the log to establish the fact that the company has the drivers falsifying documents by using the time clock in the driver's room to log out. And I'm saying that's illegal. Because you're already logged out. The machine in there to punch out on the data machine or whatever it is in the driver's room is illegal. Yeah, you have to take 10 hours from that clock, okay? So you're in violation and the miles aren't being recorded on that data machine in the driver's room. And the miles, the tractor that you logged out on and the driver logged in on, that wasn't his starting point. A new driver comes down from Tracy, just started his shift. His starting place is Tracy, not Dublin or Livermore or Eureka. So, you know, it's entrapment. So, I'm blowing the whistle on him. If the judge wants to consider that being blowing the whistle, that's fine. But I need to be returned to work. I didn't do anything wrong, and the dispatcher needs to be disciplined for falsification of documents and destruction of government documents. Those laws belong to DOT for 6 months. They have to hold on to them before they throw them away. It's in the regulation. Okay, so I'm saying the dispatcher intentionally falsified my documents because I had a notice of offer of work which had a permanent disability, and they took my money and didn't honor the notice of offer of work. 2, entrapment. I'm ordered to falsify documents, and they have me by logging out in Eureka or anywhere, Dublin, Livermore, and everything. The company is ordering its employees, 400 truck drivers, to falsify documents, and I consider that entrapment. And the proof of the pudding is in the is like I said. When he logs out, all you have to do is take that tractor number and log into that man's tractor, and that'll tell you exactly where that guy's starting point is. Where that starting point is of that new tractor that just came on the shift. Okay, or even if the driver hasn't just started, it'll say where that tractor, where that guy logged into that tractor, it'll say where that tractor was before when that driver logged out. And the miles aren't being recorded for that tractor, for that driver who logged into that tractor because his starting point isn't Tracy. So his miles aren't being recorded. Okay? And I mean, his miles aren't being recorded because that's not his starting point. I don't want to confuse it, okay? If he's supposed to start in Tracy and he starts in Livermore, Eureka, uh, okay, and he drives down there in a pickup truck, okay, those miles aren't being recorded, and he's not getting paid. So he might get paid the delay, but he's got the miles have to be recorded. It says so in 395.15 and 395.8. It has to be recorded. So I'm gonna blow the whistle, and you can go back in their records and subpoena all their documents, all their logs for the last 6 months, and trust me, you're gonna come up with a whole lot of drivers. Okay, and that's not bad enough. Some of them drivers are doing 60, 65 miles an hour on the freeway. They let some drivers drive as fast as they want, while the other drivers are not allowed to do so. Nobody's treated with equal justice. There's a different standard for different employees. So that's all I'm gonna say. Like I said, today is Saturday, December 29, 2012, and I'm unable to sleep. And I've been going through this since December 7, 2010, because I'm worried about my children. I need them to finish the university. And this is not right. That guy's working that falsified those documents, and the company supported him. Supported a man who falsified documents and the destruction of government property by throwing my logs away in the garbage and not giving me the last 7 days of logs so that I can obtain employment. So to make matters worse, my family is sick. And I have no medical coverage, and they took that away from me. That's like stealing. I paid for that. I wasn't fired on December 7, 2010. Okay, and they violated contractual procedures. And why the union didn't do nothing about the posting from Mike Sadler, I have no idea. Because the machine is tamper-proof. And how many people got fired behind that time clock? It's not possible. It's not true. You can't falsify anything. So they're using the time clock in the driver's room to work the drivers longer and to falsify documents. Ordered by the company. Safeway and Tracy Distribution Center in California. And if the judge wants to consider that I'm blowing the whistle, and if there's any doubt about my statement, you can back it up with the 400 truck drivers that are in Tracy. Okay, so do I have a witness? Yeah, I have 400 truck drivers at Tracy Distribution Center in Tracy, California. Okay, no, I didn't punch in late. I was on duty when I got to work. Now, if they want to use that on the second time clock that I punched in late because it's company policy and I'm stealing company time, that's two lies. Okay, two peas in the pot. Okay, two wrongs don't make a right, and the end doesn't justify the means. Okay, company policy and no company policy. You can't order somebody to break the law and create an entrapment situation. It's wrong. Okay, now Mike Sadler and the terminal manager James Williams needs to answer for that. So that's my statement, and I hope Judge Grill considers this and consider the fact that I've been denied medical treatment. I've been denied medical treatment since 4/17/2009 when I received the wrong diagnosis. There was no occupational report, and I never seen a doctor, and I never had no x-rays. And also they put me on light duty. It can't get any better, any worse than that, or any better than that. I've been, this is bad. This is really bad. You got a company running a company like they were cowboys or something, doing whatever they want, figuring a way to hurt its employees. That's not nice. That's not nice, okay? So, anyway, that's my statement for Judge Will, because I haven't been able to get any sleep, and my family's really sick. And I've been waiting here for registered mail or a phone call, and I haven't received either. And I'm not fired because they didn't follow contractual procedure. And also that they put my meeting on January 11, 2011 in abyss. It was never finished. I find out later they went into caucus, but I don't know anything about no caucus. I just heard that that's what they did. I don't know how true that is or how not true it is. If there was a decision, I don't know anything about it. But I have a right to a hearing, and I was denied that right. And they said they were going to look into getting me a hearing aid. Mike Niswanger. He said, well, if you need one, we'll get one. We'll talk to the company and see blah, 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 and that's and this and that. Well, I never got the hearing aid, and the meeting was put in abyss, and I never got to finish my panel hearing. And why they're having a panel hearing, I don't know. But the Teamsters didn't follow their own policy or the contractual procedures. They broke the time limits. They didn't work me first, grieve later. And I have a right to a panel hearing and arbitration, which I was denied. I was denied a panel hearing and arbitration. So whatever decision or whatever one they say is completely wrong and it's in violation of the law. Because of the fact they never proved anything or presented any evidence by December 25th, 2010. So they're in violation of contractual procedures, and I'm going to say that the union discriminated against me because I have a permanent disability by the notice of offer of work that I received on December 1st, 2010. And the union supports Safeway in entrapment. They support Safeway in violation of 132A and my rights, my civil rights. The right to be heard, the right to present documents, the right to present evidence, and the right to a hearing or some kind of panel or something. I was denied all them rights. So, Jesus Christ, I got, they just flat out threw me out. On December 7, 2010, they broke every law, every contractual procedure. They broke DOT regulation and rules. I mean, there's no end to it. I'm not an attorney, but I'm sure that if an attorney knew what was going on, he would have something to say about this. And I'm surprised that they'll be lucky if the judge don't send this to the district attorney's office for criminal prosecution. So we'll wait and see. And this is going to be my second recording, a statement for the court. And because of the fact that I haven't been able to sleep and I'm worried about whether my children are going to be able to finish the university. And I haven't been paid. I haven't been paid workman's comp payments every week, every 2 weeks. They haven't paid me. They pay me once a year, I think twice since 3/21/2009. So I don't know. I don't. They haven't paid me. I'm not going to get into talk bad about anything, so I'm going to end this recording right here. This is my statement for the court and for Judge Grill's court. And go with God. And like I said before, I invoke double standards. Life is not fair. In the interest of justice, I hope Judge Grill considers this. End of story.